dreamed the road kept going after the map ended. Just gravel turning into black water. You were walking ahead, but every time I called your name, the sound bent wrong came back as someone else's voice asking, why are you still missing? I dreamed the road kept going after the map ended. Just gravel turning into black water. You were walking ahead, but every time I called your name, the sound bent wrong came back as someone else's voice asking, why are you still missing?
Well, good afternoon. I told you I would be back, and I am, thank goodness. Everybody around here has fallen into a really great routine. And so I'm just kind of a third wheel now. And so I've got a little bit more free time. And so I thought I would make use of today and my freedom and do some YouTube videos. I hope everybody is doing well. If you're doing great, put a one in the chat. Hey, Doris Martin, how are you? I didn't check it my last video yet, but I will look at the comments after I finish this. So thank you, Doris. I appreciate it. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. I've been chatting it up with Requiem. She's burning up in the Texas heat. Team Doocy Doo 222. Thank you. You're incredibly generous and very sweet. And I just can't thank you enough. So you know what I'm talking about, and I appreciate it. And I think I've little by little I've been catching everybody individually to thank them. I know I did a group thank you, but very sweet. And I had a couple more people ask about the baby registry. The only thing that's really on the baby registry is just things for preemies. My daughter and her husband, they started months ago buying the things they were going to need for, twins, right? And they had done such a great job having everything bought, ready to go. I mean, I was just so impressed, and everybody bought diapers, and, we had a little baby shower with like family and friends, baby shower. And so everything was great. And then we got preemies. And we don't have anything for preemies. We do now because we have some very, very sweet people in this community. And I just can't thank you enough. Team Doocy Doo, Diane, all of you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We have one of each, sis. We have one of each, and they are as different as they can possibly be. And it's a bit funny because so most of my family, we have that, I guess, what do they call it? Anglo-European look. We're very fair complected, blonde hair, blue eyes. And with the exception of my daughter, is beautiful. She's got olive skin, gets deep, deep, beautiful tan. She's got dark brunette hair. And so the little girl looks like my daughter's, very, very, deep olive color, gorgeous dark hair. And she is, oh, she's so pretty. Her little face is just gorgeous. And the little boy is perfectly Anglo-European, white hair. My daughter made the joke. She said, "Oh my goodness, I gave birth to George Washington because he's got such white hair." But the dad's family, they're almost all very, very. They do tan, but they have the white blonde hair, like colored eyes, and so they're a perfect blend. Yeah, they're just perfect. That they both look so different. And my daughter said that when the nurses come by, and because they're in a little special area in the NICU that nobody can see them. They're in a quiet room and they keep it dark and everything. There's other babies in the NICU, but they're, for some reason, they've got the two twins off. We're in a room that's very, very quiet, no stimulation or anything like that. And so when the nurses come by and they actually see them, they just stop and they're just shocked because they're just shockingly different, but still look alike. They're very beautiful. So when I get the okay from Mom, I will show some pictures. But I am a good granny. I don't do anything unless Mom and Dad say you can do that. So I'm waiting for the okay, and then I would love to share some photographs with you guys. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about Sheriff Nanos. Boy, this man has really managed to upset folks. You know what I mean? They are actually facing a recall. I did another video about this if you want to go back and look at that, but the recall efforts are moving forward. There is they've got a petition where they're trying to get 135,000, I think, something like that. The Pima County organizers say that it is a requirement to have 122,211 valid signatures by July the 10th, 2026, which is about 120 days since the filing was done by Daniel Gutierrez. Now, Daniel Gutierrez is a guy who is running for Congress. And look, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. This is not being done by one disgruntled citizen. The sheriff's department, the deputies, they got together. They had a meeting. This is in the midst of this horribly mismanaged investigation for Nancy Guthrie. And the deputies got together and they were just like, why are we not being told to do these things that we know we should be doing? They had their hands tied. Sheriff Nanos was more obstructive to the investigation than he was supportive of the investigation. It was the deputies are just in shock by his behavior. Now, I am going to do another video a bit later on that is going to talk about Savannah Guthrie. And Savannah Guthrie is going through it right now. She's deep in the midst of her grief, survival syndrome, survivor's guilt, I think is a name that you're familiar with. And she's sort of standing by the sheriff, right? Oh, they did a good job. They did. But the actual the professionals, the people that are on the sheriff's department with this guy, they're really horrified by the mismanagement. And one of the guys said all he could say is thank God for the FBI. Thank God that the FBI was involved, or who knows where they would be. So Gutierrez had mentioned originally when I did my first video that he was shooting for 135,000 signatures in fear that there might be like some invalid ones that pop up or whatnot. But the law, they need to have 122,211 signatures, and they've got until July the 10th. Okay. So, no, at this point now, currently, no indication on how many signatures have technically been collected and verified. So they're just saying maybe 1,000, couple of thousand, but they don't want to put any official numbers out there because nothing's been verified yet. And they've only been able to just recently get started collecting the signatures. If they're successful, and everybody says they have no doubt that they will be successful, a recall election would be held in early 2027, possibly March the 9th, 2027. If it all works like it's supposed to, Sheriff Nanos would be on the ballot, and then the candidate with the most votes would win. And so then, there could be challenges. Some people are saying that it's a formidable task to collect 122,000 signatures in a matter of about 12 weeks, I think. But the reality is that they have 500 or so currently, about 500 volunteers who are committed and ready to get out there and begin getting these signatures for this recall. There were multiple multiple events, disagreements, controversies that led up to this, that this recall petition is focusing on. Of course, the Nancy Guthrie case is front and center. The department, Nanos' department, leads the investigation from the January 2026 disappearance or abduction of Nancy Guthrie. And then there's been some more information that has come out that really, really disturbed the all of the deputies that are on the sheriff's department. Okay, so now what we're going to listen to, we are going to take a listen to the second point for why they decided to attempt this recall election. And this hearing, I didn't intend to be on camera because I look like the devil right now, but hello, here I am. All right. So let's listen to, there were multiple people that came up last night, or was it last night or the night before last? I think it was last night, that came up and spoke to the town, and they were all making the case, Sheriff Nanos needs to go. This is not working. There have been so many mistakes and failures, and now, as we have been investigating this sheriff, we have come across some more information that is just horrific, really, really bad. So remember, the foundation for the recall, number one, the inept handling of the investigation of Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, releasing the property within a day and then turning back around after people have walked all over the place, turning back around and saying, no, 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 it really is a crime scene. Get off the property. It's been a comedy of errors. The guy is a joke. FBI agents, sheriff's deputies have come out and said Sheriff Nanos was obstructionist to this investigation. He did not facilitate it. He did not do what well-trained law enforcement people know to do. He actually blocked deputies from doing what they were trying to do. It's bad. It's really bad. But listen to the second reason for the recall. It's incredible.
Good morning, Board. I'm Sergeant Aaron Cross, President of the Pima County Deputies Organization. As many know, a reporter recently uncovered the long-hidden, terrible record of Sheriff Chris Nanos from his time as an El Paso police officer. This includes purportedly beating a handcuffed suspect in the head with a flashlight, for which he was suspended and nearly indicted. This record, if properly disclosed, would have likely prevented him from being hired or from becoming a peace officer in the state of Arizona. For over 40 years, this has been concealed from the department and the voters of Pima County.
So essentially, this guy lost one of his earliest jobs because he took one of those, you know, like big flashlights that the police carry and hit this dude over the head to the point that did it kill him or nearly kill him? Hold on. Let me go back.
Good morning, Board. I'm Sergeant Aaron Cross, President of the Pima County Deputies Organization. As many know, a reporter recently uncovered the long-hidden, terrible record of Sheriff Chris Nanos from his time as an El Paso police officer. This includes purportedly beating a handcuffed suspect in the head with a flashlight, for which he was suspended and nearly indicted.
So he didn't hit the guy in the head. He beat him, which don't you think that suggests he hit him over and over and over again? To say he beat him over the head rather than he hit him on the head or he knocked him in the head. He beat the guy and the guy was handcuffed. How could he be a threat if you've got the perpetrator in handcuffs? So together, that's an egregious act on the part of a law enforcement official. You got him handcuffed. He's no danger to you or anybody else. He's helpless because he's handcuffed. And so then, because you are Lord Farquaad, you have little man syndrome, you proceed to take your big ass flashlight and knock this man over the head over and over again. Unbelievable. It's happened in El Paso, Texas.
This record, if properly disclosed, would have likely prevented him from being hired or from becoming a peace officer in the state of Arizona.
Okay, and so now the second part of this that is so disgusting, not only did he do this horrible thing, lost his job, damn near got arrested himself. He should have, in my opinion. But then he lied on his application to go to work as law enforcement in Arizona. He lied. And we can't do that, can we? If you lie on a job application, if you lie on your resume, and it is at a later time found out, guess what happens to you? You get fired. 40 years this man has been lying on applications for law enforcement. 40 years. Why did it take now for a reporter to find that information? Why wasn't it found before? Well, he must have done a very, very good job of obscuring whatever it was that he did to hide it, right? So he's got a handcuffed perpetrator that he beats over the head, nearly kills him. He gets fired. He nearly gets prosecuted. And then he goes on to look for jobs in other places, Arizona specifically, where he then lies about his professional history.
For over 40 years, this has been concealed from the department and the voters of Pima County. Because of this scandal, our organization, the largest union of deputies in Pima County, has taken a vote. We asked our members a clear question: confidence in Sheriff Nanos to continue in office, or no confidence and a call for his resignation. The verdict was unanimous: no confidence.
Unanimous among a professional organization of the deputies, the largest professional organization with the deputies. Unanimous. No confidence in Sheriff Nanos. None. You know what? I think if I were Sheriff Nanos, I think I would listen to my deputies. If they took a vote and it was unanimous that none of them have any confidence in me at this point, I think I walk out. I think I'm done at that point. Right? Well, of course, little Lord Farquaad, little man syndrome, the little yappy, like the little tiny little Chihuahua yappy sheriff that he is, who argues and fights with the FBI when they are the experts in abductions and kidnappings. He fights against his own deputies. He even takes evidence and hides it in a way where he has plausible deniability by not giving it to the laboratories with the FBI who are experts in this. No, he sends it down to a lab in Florida where it takes much longer to get processed. I don't know what's wrong with him unless he feels like he has something to prove. He's trying to make up for the fact that he's a shorty. Look, Sheriff Nanos, I'm a shorty, okay? I'm a little short person. Short people are great. Short people need love, just like tall folks, okay? And what you're doing, you literally may have put Nancy Guthrie's life in danger. It's possible she may have been recoverable if you had cooperated with the FBI instead of playing the little yappy Chihuahua game. So how did Nanos respond? How did he respond to this vote that was taken by the deputies who voted unanimously no confidence in this guy at all? Well, he has publicly acknowledged the recall attempt, stating, quotation marks, "It is the right of the people, and my office will honor the will of the people." Well, what do you think about your deputies, though? I mean, it's one thing to have the community no longer trust you as sheriff, correct? But when every one of your law enforcement officers has taken a vote and said, absolutely no, I have zero confidence in this guy, you still sit there with your cocky little, I don't know, anti-basketball, frame of mind. You chose to go to a basketball game when this 84-year-old woman had been abducted. You gave zero care or concern about her. You obstructed, according to your own deputies. You interfered with the investigation. The FBI was very judicious. They tried to be, they spoke in very politically correct terms and said, we're working together, yada, yada. But the story was coming out that it was anything but cooperative. And then ultimately, they ended up having 4 deputies that went into Tucson and began working out of the FBI offices with the FBI agents. There's your cooperation. Those people, the boots on the ground, they're cooperating, not Lord Farquaad. Now, one thing that Sheriff Nanos said, that he defends his record. He has won 2 elections with about 250,000 votes each time. So that does suggest, if that's true, then that does suggest getting 122 or 123,000 votes for a special election, for a recall election. Sure, that's half. He's going to have to lose half of those that originally voted for him, right? But the Nancy Guthrie case, I think, has really gotten a lot of people in the area worried. I think they're really frightened about what happened to her, what took place that night. And I think they're even more disturbed by the fact that nothing has come of this investigation. Even the evidence they did have, remember I did the video, I think I was the first person on YouTube. I don't think anybody did it before me. And then within about 2 or 3 days of me putting my video out, then the bigger channels started talking about it, which is, just gets my goat, right? But I showed the blood. I showed that the flowers and the stems were on top of the blood. Therefore, the guy that came up on the porch that's in the video, that happened after Nancy was bleeding. Now we know that there's blood in the house at the front door. So, yeah, it's a pretty good bet that she was bleeding as the result of the abduction. And I'm going to do another video a little bit later on tonight that is going to talk about that. But something happened to cause her to bleed before she left the house, going out the front door. So she's bleeding. It's on the floor in the entryway inside the house. It's on the brick out on the patio. And then walking down the sidewalk, the video we see where the guy gets the leaves, the greenery, and holds it up to the camera, that Nancy was already gone out of the house. She was already out, gone. So what was the point of that? Oh, to mislead people? To throw law enforcement off? Is that why it was done? Who would want to do that? Who would want to abduct an 84-year-old woman out of her home in the middle of the night, but then take the time to go back again to act out a charade, a ruse in front of the Ring camera? Aren't you just like taunting fate? The longer you stay up around the house, aren't you sort of just saying, yeah, maybe somebody will catch me if I stay here longer? Why did the guy want to be seen on camera? Why? Maybe to make it look like he was a stranger? Maybe to establish a narrative that this is a stranger abduction? I don't know. We don't know, because this sheriff has been obstructing the investigation while the FBI and the deputies have been trying to actually investigate. I mean, this is a disaster, you guys. Nanos says, that he's won 2 elections, 250,000 votes approximately each time, and that he's doing great work in the ongoing case of the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. His department has warned about scams exploiting the Guthrie case for fake fundraisers. I haven't seen a single fundraiser in the Nancy Guthrie case. Have any of you? Like when I saw that, I thought, what are you talking about? This family is financially very comfortable, right? What do you mean fundraiser? Have any of you seen a fundraiser? I've always thought he was wiping something off the camera with the foliage. Wow. Now, see, that is something I had not considered. But he does does he put his wrist up or his elbow up? Yeah. I know. I'm going to go back and look at that. You may be exactly right about that. Just another human. I had not considered that. There we go. All right. So let's finish the last little bit of this man's statement.
He has lost the faith of his deputies and the community. His past renders him unfit to wear the badge. That he has concealed it for 40 years does not make the concealment right. It makes the fraud greater. The 300 deputies I represent speak with one voice. Chris Nanos must show the integrity he once swore to uphold. He must show the dignity that the office requires.
Did y'all hear that? 300 deputies voted no confidence. 300. If I was Sheriff Nanos and I realized I knew I had completely lost the faith of my department, I would resign. I wouldn't be a part of this any longer. I would apologize and resign and move on down the road. But you see the little old ladies back behind this guy, the ladies that are in like the purple shirt, as well as the woman that's got the golfer's visor on. They're just rolling their eyes. Like they're listening to this guy and they're just acting like, oh gosh, why? Well, little old ladies have a way of loving their law enforcement, don't they? We know that. We watch the trials, and things like that. We have the side of the prosecution. We have the side of law enforcement. We like to show that support to them. But don't we need to be wise enough to recognize when it's not working? Where the person that we've idolized and looked up to and protected, that when that person has actively lied to our faces, that person has failed their professional responsibilities, don't you think it's important for the people of the community to speak truth? Think about it. At some point, we have to get focused not on team building, yay, I'm part of the team, but focus more on what's actually right and call out what is wrong.
He must resign. If he will not, then I ask this board charged with oversight to exercise every authority vested in you. The power of this board should be used, not for comfort, but for accountability. There are moments in the life of a community when those entrusted with authority must stand firm against those who abuse it. This is such a moment. We ask that this board have the courage to support Supervisor Hines' item. Pima County and the nation is watching. Thank you.
All right. What do y'all think about that? It's pretty horrifying, isn't it? I've always thought he was wiping something off the camera with the foliage, like glass or something, so not to hurt himself. I don't know. I'm going to really look at that. Just another human. That thought never came in my mind. I watched that video so many times, and all I think is, what a bonehead choice to think that you're going to grab some leggy vines and obstruct the camera's view. Like, Like, that's what I thought he was doing, right? Was trying to obstruct the view, but we all see him with the ski cap, and all that. He's got a very notable gait, the way his feet fall when he walks. That's gonna get a video made. But to wipe off something, man, you could totally be right. I am gonna when I finish with this today, I'm gonna go look at that. Thank you for that, Just Another Human. In my mind, I think I see him. I can't tell if he's putting his wrist. I'm going by memory. Does he put his wrist up and wipe something, or does he put his elbow up? I don't see how he could use the vines to remove the camera or to cover his face. Same. Absolutely the same. I thought it was so foolish to look at those vines and think, oh, look, I can use this to block the camera. That's just what my brain went to, but no way is that effective, right? Like, no way. And that was one of the reasons that I looked up, well, what kind of greenery is this likely to be? Like, what's commonly seen in this area of Arizona, that kind of thing. What is it, and could it be used in the occult? Was it a ritual that he was performing? So I looked into that. Just brainstorming. It's a weird thought, and I, absolutely acknowledge it, which is why I didn't do a video on it or anything. But I gave it thought, like, what else would he have been doing with those flowers, the vines? What else would he have been doing? But now that you say that he's using the vines to sort of wipe off something, you could be right about that. I thought he brushed something away with the vines. What, like a spider? You think he's afraid of spiders, like a little woman would be afraid of a spider, maybe? It did look like brushing or swiping. Yes, getting Nona. I think Just Another Human is on something. Wow, that's incredible. It never occurred to me. My brain just got locked into, why did he get the vines? Like, it didn't obstruct the view of the camera. I don't understand what he was doing, but now that is very interesting. Very interesting. All right. Maybe a spider, but then when I heard there were things smashed, I thought maybe it was glass. So you think he was maybe pushing the broken glass off so then he could take the camera? Yeah. Well, question, Just Another Human. Why would he be doing this after Nancy was already out of the house? There's no doubt the blood was there before he got the vines. The vines came after. The appearance in front of the camera, that was after Nancy was removed from the house. So why would he take the camera? Huh. Strange. Weird. I'm going to give that some thought. I think you're absolutely right. I think you're absolutely right. Strange. Okay. So this video being a bit about Sheriff Nanos, the recall and all that. Yeah, you hear that 300 deputy sheriffs from your area have voted unanimously a vote of no confidence. And you stand around and puff your chest out and say, I got 250,000 votes in my last election. Yeah, but you were lying to people. You lied on your job application. You lied during the election. You didn't tell people that, like a coward, you beat a man over the head with a steel flashlight while he was handcuffed. It's disgusting. Horrible. horrible person. And then the obstructionism that happened in the early days of the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, it's unforgivable. It's absolutely unforgivable that they've got this blood out there all over. Now we find out the blood was right also on the inside of the same door. And they didn't collect samples of the blood. That came weeks later when everybody started jumping up and down saying there's damn blood out here, crazy guy. So lots of something wrong in this story. I'm not speculating. There's no doubt the greenery, the little flowers, the leaves are on top of the blood. So Nancy was out of the house when he went up there waving the vines around and wiping off something. It's like it was a ruse. It's like it was a setup. It's so odd. For example, why wouldn't you, if you're already in the house, if you go through the back door, you're in the house, because she was disabled, you've got to get her out to a car, which is going to be in the front, right? Why wouldn't you just like grab a napkin or a shirt and throw it over the camera before you ever walked out the front door? Very strange. I would imagine the videos from inside the house or her being taken out are horrifying. Oh, I can't even think about it, Cinnamon. It just heartbreaking. Just like a horror movie, right? It's just terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right. So I wanted to do the little update, bring you some current information on the recall efforts, which is now officially underway. And it does look like Sheriff Nanos is going to be a pompous ass and say, I don't care that my deputies have zero confidence in me, and I don't care that the FBI knows that I'm incompetent. I don't care that I have destroyed any hope of getting a conviction if the guy is even caught. I don't care. I am Sheriff Nanos, and you will respect me. And that's where we stand. Lord Forquad, right? All right. Remember what I said. I'll be back in a little while. I've got another video that I want to do about Savannah Guthrie and the disappearance and such. And as I'm waiting for that video to come up, or be ready to do, I'm going to look at what Just Another Human said. I'm going to go back and really look at that video footage and see where he's wiping, because I really do think that Just Another Human is absolutely onto something. I really do. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe if you have not already. Feel free to share this on your social media, and I'll see you in a little while. Oops, sorry about that.
Lost in the Arizona darkness, where the night envelops truth sublime. No searchlight cuts the velvet black, no rescue comes in time. She become the hush between the Joshua trees, the cold that settles after